Welcome to the Eden Club Championship Finals, a course over 100 years strong with a championship dating back to 1946. I made it through 3 grueling matches over 4 weeks and had to beat the defending champ with a birdie on the last hole to make it to the finals. My opponent is a living legend with 13 club championships to his name, but can I stop his quest for 14 in my first ever finals? 36 holes will determine the true champion. Let's go. I was definitely very nervous over this first tee shot, excited to get started. Swinging a little hard on that one, pulled it a little left. Still fairly open shot. I come up and I chip this, and as you can tell, I'm a little frustrated. I kind of caught the tree and I hit it a little right, but not a bad spot. We're chipping, we've got a chip shot. Very easy, standard looking chip shot, but again, under the pressure, I kind of popped this a little too hard and ran it about 8 or 10 feet by. So my opponent's on the green with a 2-putt for par, or actually he's got about a 3-footer for par. And I've got this left for par. And I hit a good putt. I think I pulled it just a tiny bit, and it was a little bit of a misread. Good. So after one hole, we are 1 down through 1 hole. The next hole is a par 3. My opponent's already on the middle of the green. And I hit just not a very good shot. It's actually a little farther right, I think, than the shot tracer shows. And I caught that tree and I left myself on a terrible lie. I've got to hit this low enough to miss the branches, but yet hard enough to get up on the green, and it's just, I really have no shot. In fact, I hit a pretty good shot. It bounced up, but I'm left with this chip shot for par. And it's not a very bad chip. It's actually a very difficult chip. And I left it just short, so now we are 2 down through 2 holes. This next hole is a par 4. I hit an okay drive. I kind of grabbed the tee quick. I kind of popped it up a little bit, didn't hit it as far down as I like. I've got about 9 iron in, and I just freaking absolutely chunked this wedge, and as you can tell, I'm definitely frustrated. But this shot right here, if you've never hit a shank in a competitive round, you never know how frustrating it is. But I come back, I've got a really difficult chip shot with a terrible angle in, and I hit a great chip shot. I've got this for bogey, and just not a real good putt. And so I end up with he gives me that for 6, and he takes a bogey, and I'm 3 down through 3. And let's just stop right there. I'm definitely frustrated. In all my mental preparation, I did not picture myself losing the first 3 holes in a row. The other 3 weeks, basically, I was either 1 up or 1 down to a couple holes and a couple up. So this is definitely new territory for me. I'm trying to keep a good attitude. I'm definitely frustrated. Obviously, the shank on the last hole is just a super humiliating. I mean, we've got a bunch of people watching. I got my friends there. So to do that on that hole is very frustrating, but I'm only 3 down. I'm going to stay positive. The next hole is a short par 4, and I thought, okay, if I could just hit a good tee shot here, we'll be back in this. So I step up. I hit a great tee shot. It's just a little bit right of the green. I didn't even watch it. I was just like, I hit it perfect. Should be fine up there. It ends up taking kind of a bad bounce and trickles off to the back of the green, and it's sitting against the edge, like the collar of the grass, and so this is kind of a tough lie for where this is, but definitely want to use a putt, and I just didn't hit it. I mean, you can see me just like asking for it to go. I hit it about, oh my gosh, like 3 or 4 feet short, and it goes a little bit farther, and it'll roll right down to the hole. So I've got this putt for birdie. I'm trying to focus in. I've got a good line, and I hit the putt. Gosh, just miss it. And so my opponent, as he's standing there, he's got a little short chip shot. He chips up to a foot, makes a birdie. So now I'm 4 down through 4 holes. The next hole's a par 5, and it's super difficult driving hole. I hit a pretty good tee shot, and let me just stop it right there. If you see where the tracer ends up, there's actually a green over there, the 7th green. But if you look at where that pine tree is, between the pine tree and the trees on the right is a very, very, very narrow chute for where you want to hit your drive. And that pine tree on the left, if you look even farther left of that, is only like 15, maybe 20 yards to the left of that is out of bounds. And so I wanted to make sure I didn't hit a bad tee shot. I hit it solid. I actually ended up kind of with a bad break. I hit it onto the green, and it sticks on the green and stops. If that was like a normal day where the greens weren't too soft, that would have bounced through. I'd actually have a halfway decent line in. But instead, I mean, you can see I had to take a drop behind the hole. And so I'm hitting this 4 hybrid. I'm just trying to hopefully hit it up over those trees. And I kind of hit it, just not the best shot. It caught that first tree, bounces down, and just kind of some bad luck on when the ball hit the green, and just the lie I had. So the next shot, I've got absolutely no shot. I just lay up over to the right. Again, we're basically playing hole number 7, even though we're trying to play hole number 5. And I've got this shot in, and I just don't quite catch enough of the ball out of that super horrible lie, and I end up in the bunker. So here we are, we got my 5th shot out of the bunker. I'm just like, all right, let's just get this close, make something happen. Hit a decent bunker shot, doesn't quite run out enough, and I'm left with about 15, 18 feet left for bogey. And I'm not sure if my partner's gonna make a bogey or not, so I really, really wanna make this putt. And I putt it, and I actually thought I missed it more than that. It actually almost went in and just kind of limped out. After 5 holes, we're 5 down. But let's just stop right here. This is the absolute worst case scenario. Yes, I know I've got 36 holes to play, but nowhere in my imagination was I going to have to deal with coming back from losing the first 5 holes in a row. A little bit of it is a bad luck. A little bit of it is hitting some poor shots. I mean, I made a decent par on the last hole, almost made a birdie. My partner makes an easy birdie, and there's just not much going on. In fact, I'm talking to my friend Rob, who's, shout out to Rob's doing the camera work on this, and I'm just like trying to keep it light. I can see him, and then I've got a couple other friends there watching, some other people, and they're just kind of looking down like, oh my gosh, what did I come out to watch? Is John going to do anything here? And I'm just super frustrated. But I even told Rob, because my head's kind of spinning. I just don't even know what to do, but I'm just like, all right, we got to keep going. We got 36 holes total. Let's keep going. And I even told him, like, all right, new goal. Let's not lose every hole. And I was joking, but in my mind, I kind of was serious. So I step up to this next hole, par 3, hit a pretty solid shot. Decent shot in on this par 3. It's a tricky par 3 with a short green. I've got an okay chip shot, and I hit... You know, it's kind of tricky. You want to make sure the lie's not that great. And I hit a really good chip shot, and it rolls up to about 4
Nice shot,
feet.
John.
So my playing opponent's on the green, and I've got this 4-footer, and I really looked over, and I wanted to make sure that I make this. I mean, I've got to get some momentum going. I've got to have something good happen to me, and I make a great putt. So finally, something positive happens. I'm only 5 down through 6 holes. I actually tied a hole. So I'm feeling a little better. This is a short par 4. I always lay up with my 4 hybrid. Didn't hit the best shot. It is ended up left in the rough, and I don't really have a good angle at the green. So I'm just going to kind of hit it out to the right. I'm trying to lay it up a little short, actually. It took kind of a bad bounce. I hit it probably a yard too far. And I'm left with a side hill chip, which was really, really difficult. In fact, it's really easy to just leave it off the green. But I'm like, all right, let me chip up. I've got this shot left for par, and it's a really difficult left to right putt. And I end up just missing it. Fortunately for me, my opponent had a little trouble with this hole. He takes a bogey, so we're still only 5 down through 7 holes. The next hole is just this shortish par 4. And I hit a really good drive here. Pick up the tee quickly, ready to go. Nice, confident drive. I just need to hit some good shots here. End up a little short of the green. I hit what I thought was a really, really, really good chip shot. And then it just runs out a little far. So I've got this about 20, 25 foot putt. And watch how far this putt goes past the hole. I mean, I just smash it. I mean, it's kind of downhill, but I'm like, I mean, I've got 8 maybe 9 feet left up the hill for par. My opponent's right there for par, and I'm like, I've absolutely got to make this putt. I step up, I give myself a good line, nice and firm, right in the hole. This next hole's a par 5. I feel like I have an advantage here because I can hit it a little bit farther than this guy. I hit a great drive, very happy with that. He's out there in okay shape. And then I step up to hit this 4 hybrid, and I just freaking chunk it, man. I mean, it's not a horrible outcome, but just such a bad shot. I step up with this wedge. I hit an absolute dart, perfect shot, right up by the green. And in fact, my friend Rob didn't catch up on the green because my playing partner had a little bit of trouble with this. I was on with about 6 or 8 feet for birdie, and he ends up taking bogey, so he just concedes the hole. So finally, I get some momentum. I'm 4 down through 9 holes. I've won a hole, finally. More importantly, I haven't lost a hole for the last 4 holes, so I feel like I've got a little momentum going into this. You know, we're playing, this is a 9-hole course. We're playing number 1 again on the blue tees now, and I'm like, if I can just hit a good drive, I get to actually tee off first. I get the honor here. I feel like I've got a little momentum. I'm like, let's just start chipping away at this lead. And I go ahead and hit a really, really good drive here. I just absolutely smash it. So I've got this about 70 yards in, and I'm licking my chops. I'm like, let's get this on the green, make a birdie, and oh my gosh, just shankalicious. I mean, what else can you say about that? I'm so frustrated, as you can see. So now everybody knows that has ever hit a shank, the hardest shot in golf is the shot after a shank. So I'm like, just get this up on the green. Oh, I mean, I just absolutely shanked this one too. In fact, I almost hit some guys that are spectators in a cart, and I'm just reeling. Not only have I hit 2 completely embarrassing shots, but I've left myself with almost an impossible chip shot. And in my mind, I'm just like, just hit the club face. And look at that. I mean, I almost shanked the 3rd shot in a row. It's an absolute terrible chip. I've got about 40 feet left for bogey. And actually I hit a pretty good putt here. This wasn't too bad, but my opponent takes an easy par. I take a 6, so we're back to 5 down through 10 holes. Just wanted to stop right here and go over this. So I had a little bit of momentum going after that 9th hole. I won the hole. I hit a great drive, and then I hit 3 basically horrendous shots in a row. And so in my mind, I'm just like trying to shake that off, trying to focus on the next hole and hit a good shot. So I step up to this short par 3, and I'm like, I can just get it on the green. And instead of that, I hit an absolutely great shot, a dart right at the pin, and it ends up a little bit above the hole, and I've got this tricky, like 8 or 9 foot putt as I shoot the bugs off the ball. But I've got this 8 or 9 foot putt. I read it. This is a putt I've hit in the practice round, and I just step up and I'm like, I've got to make this putt. And bam, let's go. Look at that, a birdie. 4 down through 11 holes, a little momentum. Let's step up. We hit a good tee shot here. I've got a wedge in, and I hit a really good shot. In fact, I needed it to go a little right, and I thought normally it would kick down, but the greens were so soft.
Stuck the landing.
I stuck the landing, and it actually just stuck right in a ball mark and didn't roll down. So I've got this side hill. There's a lot of break on this putt, and the key for me is I didn't want to run it too far past, but unfortunately, I end up quite a bit short. So I've got this par putt left, and I don't want to lose any momentum. I actually had to look at it twice because it's a little tricky. It does break a little left to right. So we're back to playing this short par 4. I hit my drive. I kind of pushed it out a little bit farther right than I wanted to hit it, but I'm left with this pretty difficult chip shot. I've got to hit it low under the tree. I'm chipping with like an 8 iron. I want to just trickle this up on the green. And this is probably my best shot of the entire day. I mean, look at that thing. It trickles up, rolls down that little edge, down to the hole. I mean, somebody said great shot, and I waved to the crowd. So I've got this 5-footer left for birdie to win the hole and get a little bit more momentum going. So it's kind of a tricky putt. I want to make sure I give myself enough time. Hit it right in the middle. Let's freaking go. We are 3 down through 13 holes. Got some confidence. Step up this par 5. Hit an okay drive. We're playing again for the back tees now, so it's a little farther. I ended up giving myself not the best angle in, and so I decided to hit a 4 hybrid, which is probably one of the times I made a bad decision today. It went a little bit farther than it should have, and it left me this really tricky punch shot. I've got under a tree, we've got branches, we're like 100 yards out, and I need to really I'd love to just bounce this thing up by the green, and I just don't hit it very well. I mean, it kind of comes out right, and it just doesn't get that close. So I'm left with this chip shot for about 25 yards, lots of green to work with, and it just does not get up there.
Go, go, go.
Didn't hit it, so I've got about 22 feet left for par, and I just don't quite catch the right line. So my opponent makes par, and now I'm 4 down through 14 holes. I step up to this par 3 and hit just not a very good shot. I just basically chunk the iron and leave it quite a bit short. Now this next shot is actually not terrible. I'm trying to hit it past the hole and hit the hill behind to let the ball roll down, and I catch it just a little bit too cleanly, and I chip it up to the top of the hill. So I have an impossible shot, chips it all the way back down the hill for my 3rd shot, roll off the green, and then I've got this chip shot that ends up right there. So I'm definitely a little annoyed. I'm back to 5 down. But we've got this short par 4, again laying up with my 4 hybrid, and I hit a pretty good shot here. I liked it, hit it in the middle of the club face. I left myself with just a wedge in, and this is one of the better shots of the day. Under the pressure, you can see all the carts, everybody's watching now, we've got quite a gallery following us, and I step up and hit a really good shot. So I'm looking at this putt, it's about 18, 20 feet, and I'm like, he was a little closer, but I'm like, if I make this putt for birdie, I feel like he's going to miss his. And sure enough, slam it in the hole, and now I'm back to 4 down through 16 holes. And I step up and just absolutely smoke an amazing tee shot on this short par 4. I hit it good. It ended up just a little bit left of the hole. I've got this chip shot. It's sitting down, but it's still pretty standard chip shot. And I hit a really, really good chip shot here. And this is similar line to the putt I had earlier that I ran by the hole. And so because of that, with that knowledge, I want to make sure I don't hit it too hard. I've got a good line. It's a tricky putt, a little left to right. And bam! Birdie, birdie. Look at us. We are 3 down through 17 holes, and we have got some momentum, kids. Step up. I hit a great tee shot on this par 5. Actually, one of my better tee shots of the day for sure. I've got this shot in. It's not the easiest lie, and so this is actually a pretty good shot. It's a downhill lie. There's a lot of grass around it. I just kind of wanted to get it up there. So I've got about 20 yards in on this chip shot. My playing partner had just hit one, and I'm aiming for the front of the, in front of the green. I want to bounce it up, and his just bounced and rolled off the green. So I thought, lob wedge. I thought I hit an absolute perfect shot. It came up short, so I've got this 20-footer for birdie to win the hole, and I just don't read it correctly and hit not my best shot. All right, after 18 holes, we are 3 down, but we're still in it. So, and actually after a pretty horrific start, going 5 down, losing 5 holes in a row, I'm actually kind of glad, kind of battled back, made a couple birdies. Could have got up and down on that last hole. I think that kind of bugs me a little bit, but that's all right. Got a little momentum going, and
at least I didn't lose the last hole, which when we started out, that was definitely a problem. So, but yeah, focus in on the last 18 holes. Anything can happen. Just hit some good shots. My putter's working. I can make some putts.
Well, that was super interesting to hear my live reaction after the first 18 holes. Obviously very disappointed. Definitely glad I didn't lose every hole, although I started off losing the first 5 holes. But I see in my eyes I've got a little spark of hope. I've got a little bit of hope. I battled back on that back 9, made 4 birdies, got myself to just 3 down. We've got 18 holes to play. Anything can happen. Next week, guys, I'll have part 2 of this to see if I can win the club championship. Please like, subscribe, comment below what you guys want to see on the channel, and we'll see you next week with the finale to the club championship. Cheers, guys. Thanks for tuning in.